They wanted him. I always wanted him to stay with them because I knew I wasn't fit. I gave my other kids up because I knew I wasn't fit to be a mother. I don't know how to be a mother. I don't even know who I am. And that's all I can say. And I apologize to everyone that I've hurt. That's all I can say.
You know, Timmeka, I have to always start a sentencing by reminding everyone what is the purposes and principles of what I do here. And that is, it's to punish you, protect the public from future crimes by you and others, using the minimum sanctions that this court determines accomplishes the purpose without imposing an unnecessary burden on court or government resources. I always have to consider the need for incapacitation, deterrence, rehabilitation, and restitution. The sentence I impose should be commensurate with and not demeaning to the seriousness of your conduct, its impact on the victim, and consistent with sentences for similar crimes by similar offenders. The sentence is not based on your race, your ethnicity, your gender, or your religion. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. You know, this case causes us to confront an often painful reality, the cycle of neglect that can affect families across generations. Miss Eggleton, you claim to have experienced neglect and abuse throughout your life. Without any stable parental role models, you went on to have 6 children, Curtis being the 4th. Curtis and his older brother and sisters were all removed from your care. Social services intervened to provide support systems aimed not only to protect the children, but also to heal your families. Through these efforts, our community tried to provide necessary resources and assistance to break the cycle of neglect and to foster an environment where you and your children could thrive. But as you attempted to hide what you had done, you put Curtis's body in a stroller, which I just saw these photos, with his infant brother, and carted them around town, lying to people at the Family Dollar store, and then to the police with complete fabrications about where you had been and what had happened. You claimed Curtis fell at a water park. Of course, now we know that water park wasn't even open. Of course, the police did a great investigation here. They went through the cameras throughout the city of Cleveland to prove your lies. The autopsy proved your lies as it disclosed blunt force trauma throughout Curtis's tiny body from all your beating. Your actions are further compounded because you manipulated the system to remove Curtis from safety, only then to beat him to death for being a toddler within months. Today's sentencing is a moment of accountability. It is a recognition that our society will not tolerate violence against children. I hear about you not knowing who you are or what you're doing, and that you probably should never have gotten Curtis back. That wasn't what these papers and everything shows, and that's why we're here in this courtroom today. I've not heard one apology for causing Curtis's death. You've shown no self-awareness about what triggered you to inflict such pain on a defenseless child. Without recognizing what you did wrong, you'd repeat your conduct if given a chance. There's statements about mental illness. However, none of those statements excuse your conduct. You may recall recently, there was a sentencing in this court. A man from Parma killed his child because he heard voices in his head. He's currently serving a sentence of 30 years to life. Miss Eggleton, your cycle of neglect and abuse stops today. You will not be left alone with your surviving infants again. Your manipulation of the system to get what you want also stops today. As a result of that, on count number 4, the felonious assault count, I'm going to sentence you to 8 years. And as you recall, the Reagan Code sentence on that count, it's 8 plus half, which is 8 plus 4. In count number 5, I'm going to sentence you to 8 years. And on count number 3, the murder, I'm going to sentence you to 15. I believe consecutive sentences is necessary to protect and punish you. It's not disproportionate. And I find that these crimes were committed while you were pending case in a diversion program for theft, which I'll find you guilty of that offense on case 634420 and impose a 6-month sentence on that case. I also find that the harm in this case was so great or unusual that a single term does not adequately reflect the seriousness of the conduct. And I think that the history of you shows that these consecutive terms are necessary. So, Ms. Eggleton, the sentence imposed in this court is going to be 31 years to 35 years to life. And I'm going to tell you that when you get out, the parole board will monitor you for that mandatory period of time. If you fail to report or comply, they can obviously sentence you up to 1/2 of any prison sentence this court imposed. Further, there's a notice of duties to enroll as a violent offender under revised code 2903.41. And I see here, there's a signature here that you've been advised of those requirements. Is that your signature there? All right. Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm going to sign my name that you understand these. I'll have a copy given to you. So when you do get out, you'll have an opportunity to have these documents before you. For the purposes of the sentencing, I'm going to mark this as Court's Exhibit 1, which is the autopsy, photos, protocol, and photos. And I'll keep that with the court reporter. And I'm further going to say, do you have the money or means to hire a lawyer for purposes of appeal on this sentence?
Not just right now.
All right. So I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent. They'll review the sentence on appeal and make a decision. Ms. Eggleton, I'm going to tell you this, that this sentence gives you an opportunity for reflection and remorse, a chance to acknowledge the harm caused, and to take steps towards your personal growth and healing. You have an opportunity to better yourself while in jail. Take classes, participate in workshops, You can still be a positive force in the lives of your surviving 5 children if you can grow and recognize what led you to take this frustration out on this young toddler. It's my hope that you can learn important life skills and eventually come back into society and help loving and safely interact